Today we're going to show you how to change the ice bin in your refrigerator, and it's a really easy job. All we're going to need is a 1/4-inch nut driver. Let me show you how we do it. Now to do this repair, we're going to start by opening the freezer door. And first we're just going to reach in and lift up on the shut-off lever on the ice maker to turn that off. Then we'll lift up on the bin at the front, pull it completely out, and then we're going to set it on a suitable work surface where we can do the repair. Now the first step in this repair will be to remove the front cover off of the ice bin assembly, and there are a series of 1/4-inch hex head screws that attach the bin to the front. So we're going to ignore the two on the very top, but we'll take the lower two on each side. So we'll just remove those, and then just lift that front cover completely off and set it aside. Now next we're going to release the mechanism that controls the crusher. So there's a single 1/4-inch hex head screw at the back. While keeping pressure on top of the mounting plate for that, remove the screw. There is a spring beneath that that has to be released slowly. So just let it lift up and it'll turn around. And we can slide the little bracket completely off there and set that aside. Now next, we're going to remove 2 more screws on the bottom and 2 that are on the inside that will release that bin from the housing for the mechanism on the front. There are 2 screws, one on either side of the auger on the inside of the bin, so just remove those. Now we can carefully pull that whole assembly out of the bin, including the auger. And then just set that aside. We can discard the old bin. Next, we're going to put that assembly into the new bin. We'll just let that lever and mechanism for the crusher slide around the back of it and auger through the opening in the front. And we'll have to line up the auger bearing at the back. And we can flip that bin upright. We'll line up the 2 screws on the inside. Make sure the screws are snug, but don't over tighten them to the point where you may crack the plastic. Now before tightening those screws, just verify that the bearing at the rear of that auger is sitting freely in the opening. We can next turn the bin completely upside down. Replace the 2 screws on the bottom. Next, just check the operation of that crusher arm. Make sure that it's engaged at the front. Okay, next we need to install the bracket that holds that crusher arm in place. Now to install the mounting bracket and the spring, we'll start by sliding that spring along that shaft until the square hooked end of it will line up with the mounting tab. And we'll take the mounting bracket and we're going to sit it over top of the shaft and rotate it so that the hole is on the inside edge. We'll just lift up slightly on that rod, slide it over top of the mounting tab. We'll rotate the spring down into position. We'll next put our screw in place. Now next we're going to rotate this spring around and we're going to hook that hook under the back end of the rod. That will provide the tension for the chute at the front for the crusher blades. We're now ready to put the front back on. The top is closed over on it, so the best way to do that is to set the bin upright. Just slide it completely onto the bin. You'll note that it's notched out on the top edge to receive that cover. And we'll put 2 top screws in place. And then we'll put the 2 bottom screws in. And again, make sure that the front cover fits nice and tight up against that bin. Now we're ready to reinstall the auger and bin assembly back into the refrigerator. So to reinstall, we're simply going to open the freezer door. We'll line the bin up with the shelf rails on the top, slide it completely in, make sure it's hooked so that when we pull on it, it won't come out. Then we'll reach in and flip down the shut-off arm, and our repair is complete.